The biggest ban in GTA RP history probably just happened. I guess you could argue that when Buddha got banned years ago, it may have been bigger, but he was a smaller creator then, and RP in general is smaller. But if you don't know who RatedEpicz is, well, really, nobody actually really knows who he is because he's never shown his face on stream, but he was a popular streamer on GTA RP, and he was part of Chang gang, probably the biggest gang in RP for like well over 5 or 6 years. And the reason why this is so shocking, because 6 months ago, the guy who owns the server that he plays on, Koil, had this to say about Chang gang never getting permabanned.
Why would you want to delete a part of the community like that? Do you know what I mean?
100%.
I mean, I always said to those guys, you literally have to take a shit on my chest to get banned on the server, like perm ban on the server, that is.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so he's essentially saying they're a big part of the community, so why would they ban a big part of the community? It also helps that they're big streamers, and NoPixel is a streamer server, so they need as many views or as many eyes on the server as possible because that's how they make money. So they're never going to ban CG permanently because they're too good for business. So it's shocking that a couple days ago, they permanently banned a member of CG. And it happened live on stream. Usually what happens is you get DM'd and you essentially like schedule out your punishment. But this is how Rated found out that he got banned off of NoPixel.
Who's he with?
Wait, why?
He was alone.
Why am I'm permabanned? What did I do? Wait, what? Wait, wait, what? Wait, why? Wait, why? I don't know what I did. Sorry, we'll figure it out. I don't know. I'll have to end stream. I'll figure it out. Like, I'm permabanned from everything. I don't know.
So when people say shook, I think this is like the definition of shook. You can just hear it in his voice. He is freaking out. So this was like a shock to everybody. Like, what is going on? And they were asking everybody they could. No one was saying anything. And then Koil eventually said this.
Any idea what happened with Rated? I mean, yeah, I know exactly what happened with Rated, but you're not going to ever find out about it, I don't think. So, I mean, it doesn't take much to sort of understand there's only a certain amount of things that it could be. And, I ain't gonna fuck with the guy anymore, and that's, you know, how it is, dude. You know, it's not like I wanted any of it to happen, but it's there's lines that I'll always see. I mean, I'm pretty clear with them. If people cross certain boundaries, there's no rectifying that sort of shit at all. So
around a old tuna shop.
You know, I've defended him in a lot of circumstances.
Description of the suspect.
Unsure.
When it's logical to do so, but
last team heading westbound on Davis.
You know, this one wasn't even really questionable for me. It's just, you know, we good.
You said.
See ya, dude. See ya, dude. In a few bunch, we'll bring him back. Nah, I'm sweet, brother. I ain't gonna change my opinion on that.
No,
we didn't tell him what he did wrong. If we tell him what he did wrong, it's also the same circumstance. He has an idea of what it is. But trust me, he knows what he did wrong. Trust me when I say that, he knows. But we specifically don't go into specifics because of the circumstances. Did it happen publicly or privately? So listen, like I said, I don't want to talk too much in the specifics, but people outside of NoPixel know about this in streamer areas, and that's why I picked up on it, and that's why I talked to certain people to get confirmation of what had happened. So it's definitely something that could, you know, go public, but I don't know if it ever will. But if other people are talking about it, then it's worth, you know, at least trying to get an understanding myself of what's going on. But it's not up to me to you know, like I said, go into specifics of it. I just know that I've seen enough that I don't want him in the community, and that's how it is.
Yeah, so that's like should be raising red flags in your head. So he's talking about how it was nothing to do with what he did on the server. He wasn't exploiting, he wasn't cheating, he wasn't metagaming, any of that stuff. And whenever someone starts talking about issues like this and they say, oh, like, it's not for me to explain what happened, it's not my story to tell, that is like dog whistling, that it usually has to do with sexual harassment or like sexual assault of some kind or harassment or being a creep towards a woman. That's usually like, I'm not going to say anything. It's for the women to come out to like explain their side of the story. So when you start hearing that language, if you don't already think that, you should start thinking that, because that's almost always what it points to. Now, of course, that's just speculation. We don't know for sure, but this is what first came out. And that's like the first thing that popped into my head. And then I figured, like, his career seems to be pretty much over from this clip and for him getting permabanned off his server. Because if you don't know, if you're an RP streamer and you get permabanned off your server, people just stop watching you because they don't care about you anymore. They like watching your character, not you personally. But I figured if his Chang gang, like all of his like real life friends who have been like friends for years and years and years and gone to meetups together and hung out and gone on vacation together, stuck by his side, then maybe it's not so bad. And then this came out. Chang Gang came out saying, in light of recent developments, Chang Gang as a collective and its individual members have made the decision to part ways with RatedEpicz. We respect the privacy of all individual parties or involved parties and will not be sharing further details. So essentially, we're not dealing with Rated anymore. We're washing our hands clean of them. That's a really bad sign for Rated and what he did. So it's probably really serious. Because like, we may never know for sure what he did, but we know that all of his like close personal friends think it's bad enough to never touch him again. And then more stuff started to come out because he did the worst possible thing. He tried to downplay it. He's like, going live to address this because I just can't sit here and be told I know what I did and generally not know. And I know my truths. You have no idea why you got permanently banned. For some reason, I think that's bullshit. And luckily, even though I may never always agree with no pixel management, they are smart enough to keep some of their cards hidden and waited for him to say some dumb shit like this, because then they immediately responded. Recently removed a figure from our community for violating our terms of service and have sourced legal advice after verifying multiple severe claims. There are very certain lines we will always draw, which are always very clear. We want to encourage any females to come forward from any communities if they would like to share any information on how they may have been mistreated by this person, as multiple people already have, or just want to talk and seek help. You can contact Anna directly on email via Anna blah, 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 blah. So not only are they calling out Rated, saying it's BS, you know what you did, they very much just confirmed what it was. He was harassing and mistreating women behind the scenes. Now, Rated and Chang Gang are known for being extremely toxic and sends a lot of hate towards other streamers they disagree with, especially cops on the server, and seemingly especially women cops on the server. So Penta responded to this news, and pretty much like everyone's response to this news.
What? The guy who treats everyone like they're not human beings turns out to be an abuser? What?
And some more reactions to it, essentially saying the same thing. So now I'm wondering how much of it was just RP. Yeah, everybody with like half a brain cell could tell that when he went on his hateful rants, it wasn't just RP. And then some more like behind the scenes info on what he actually did. This seems more on the milder side. I'm assuming it's going to be a lot worse than this if more people come out and talk about it. But she says that he was asking me for cam shows and other weird shit, then deleting his messages seconds later. I could never get proof, and I thought no one would believe me. He was untouchable. Made me uncomfortable having to placate this creep because of how much pull he had on the server. He was very close personal friends with the server owner, so he was like untouchable. And then another woman who also played a cop on the server comes out and says that the guy was openly toxic and misogynistic to women for years, in character, quote unquote. Riled up his community to target female cops, like for me personally, and gaslit everyone. Rip and piss, you won't be missed. My heart goes out to any woman he further harmed out of the public eye. And then she goes a little further and says it's not only a problem with Rated, it's a problem with the server as a whole. Because she's beyond minding her own words. Because if you don't know Kath, she is currently fighting in Ukraine. So she's no longer going to mind her words because the environment I'm in and the work I'm doing eclipses the importance of gaining or losing streaming clout for me. But fucking hell, he is and always has been a massive manipulative shitheel, and he isn't the only one. Misogynists, abusers, feeling like you can't speak out against these kinds of people out of fear of jeopardizing your careers like I did. I sat there and heard HC, so high command, so the people who run the server, parrot the same twisted shit his hopper said to me for months. So essentially saying that not only was Rated being a huge dick and being super hateful and saying a lot of hate towards her, then the people who ran in the server would parrot what Rated and his community was saying to her. So he was untouchable because the server management was backing him the whole time because they just repeated what he said. So I mean, I guess good riddance. He was clearly harassing women behind the scenes. He was a huge dick in front of the scenes. So good to see another one gone. Hopefully we see more strict crackdowns of this. I doubt it, but maybe things are slowly changing. But I think the thing that's like the funniest thing out of all of this is just how like some of the members of CG, like this is Kabin, he's the leader of CG, another friend of Rated, and this was him a couple months ago talking about what goes on behind closed doors and just how badly this aged.
You know the age that goes on behind doors. You don't know the shit that's been going on with the boys and other people. You don't know why there's because all the bullshit that's been going on behind the doors and wiped under the carpet.